20 The biggest movie sequels coming in 2024 represent the most promising franchises of the decade. Many of these sequels follow films that made close to or over $500 million in the worldwide box office. Others are follow-ups to both critically and commercially successful movies, including long-overdue sequels to old and iconic films from before or around the turn of the century. From franchises making a comeback in 2024, to ones riding off the success of more recent films, these sequels will be the biggest reasons for viewers to flock to theaters very soon. These are also the sequels with release dates that haven't been moved much later due to the WGA and SAG/AFTRA strikes. Following the resolution of the strikes in Hollywood, studios are following through with their planned 2024 movie release dates. From superhero fare such as Deadpool III and Venom III, to legacy sequels like Twisters and Beetlejuice II, the biggest movie sequels coming in 2024 offer tons of variety for audiences worldwide. On number 20. Deadpool III, release date, July 26, 2024, sequel to Deadpool II, 2018, cast, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, Morena Baccarin, Brianna Hildebrand, and Jennifer Garner. With the Deadpool III release date drawing closer, anticipation is only getting higher for what could be the biggest superhero and comedy movie of 2024. The success of the first two films, coupled with Deadpool's official integration into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, amplifies the hype of Ryan Reynolds' return as the Merc with a Mouth in MCU Phase 6. With Hugh Jackman's Wolverine being welcomed into the MCU as well, Deadpool 3 promises fresh storylines that showcase Jackman and Reynolds' comedic chemistry. Combined with its teased cameos and other yet unknown additions to the MCU roster, Deadpool 3 is poised to be a major cinematic event in 2024. On number 19, SpiderMan, Beyond the Spiderverse, release window, 2024 to 2025, sequel to SpiderMan, Across the Spiderverse, 2023. SpiderMan, Beyond the Spiderverse was taken off Sony's 2024 schedule due to the writer's strike, the conclusion of which has allowed production on the animated movie to resume. Depending on how this goes, the third Spiderverse movie could come out in either 2024 or 2025. Following the events of Spider-Man, Across the Spiderverse, Spiderverse 3 is set to be the final leg in the mind-bending animated trilogy that introduced audiences to Miles Morales, played by Shameik Moore, along with various other Spider-Man variants. As for whether Beyond the Spiderverse will finally directly connect to the MCU, audiences will have to wait for the answer a little longer. On number 18, Kung Fu Panda 4, release date, March 8, 2024, sequel to Kung Fu Panda 3, 2016, director Mike Mitchell, Stephanie Stein, cast Jack Black, Awkwafina, Viola Davis, Dustin Hoffman, James Hong, Bryan Cranston, Ian McShane, Ke Quan. Kung Fu Panda 3 ends with Jack Black's rising to the role of Grand Master of the Valley of Peace. In Kung Fu Panda 4, Po will be training a fox named Zhen, to be played by comedian Awkwafina, to become the new Dragon Warrior. Both will journey outside the Valley of Peace to fight the Chameleon, a crafty antagonist who can bring back Po's enemies. It remains unclear who will be introduced to voice the Chameleon. However, actors Angelina Jolie, Seth Rogen, Lucy Liu, Jackie Chan, Dustin Hoffman, and David Cross will all be reprising their previous roles in Kung Fu Panda 4. On number 17. Dune, Part 2, release date, March 1, 2024, sequel to Dune, 2021, director Denis Villeneuve, cast Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Florence Pugh, Austin Butler, Rebecca Ferguson. While Dune adapted the first half of the foundational Frank Herbert sci-fi novel, Dune, Part 2 will continue and conclude the story of Paul Atreides' messianic rise in Arrakis. The sequel will see the return of Timothée Chalamet's Paul, Rebecca Ferguson's Lady Jessica, Josh Brolin's Gurney Halleck, Javier Bardem's Stilgar, Stellan Skarsgård's Baron Harkonnen, and Zendaya's Chani. To complete the first book's story, Dune 2 will introduce Christopher Walken as Emperor Shaddam IV, Austin Butler as Phaedrotha Harkonnen, Florence Pugh as Princess Irulan, and Léa Seydoux as Lady Margot. Whether director Denis Villeneuve can adapt Herbert's saga into a film trilogy will be determined by the success of Dune 2. On number 16. Joker, Folie à Deux, release date, October 4, 2024, sequel to Joker, 2019, director Todd Phillips, cast Joaquin Phoenix, Lady Gaga, Brendan Gleeson, Zazie Beetz, Catherine Keener, Jacob Lofland, Harry Lottie. Joker, Folie à Deux will explore the twisted dynamic between Joaquin Phoenix's Arthur Fleck and Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn. Following the stellar commercial success of Joker, Folie à Deux will further unravel director Todd Phillips' realistic take on the origin story of the most beloved Batman villain of all time. Zazie Beetz will reprise her role as Sophie Drummond, and will be joined by Brendan Gleeson, Jacob Lofland, Catherine Keener, and Harry Lottie in yet undisclosed roles. Notably, the sequel will be a musical, unfolding as Fleck meets Harley Quinn after he's incarcerated in Arkham Asylum, explaining the subtitles in Joker, Folie à Deux, which means Madness for Two. On number 15. Sonic the Hedgehog 3, release date, December 20, 2024, sequel to Sonic the Hedgehog 2, 2022. Is Jim Carrey in Sonic 3? After meeting an ambiguous fate in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, it's still unclear whether Jim Carrey's Dr. Eggman Robotnik will be in the third movie, the plot of which has been successfully kept under wraps. What's clear is that Ben Schwartz's Sonic, Idris Elba's Knuckles, Colleen O'Shaughnessy's Tails, and James Marsden's Tom will return for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. The sequel will reportedly introduce a new villain in Shadow the Hedgehog, though it's unknown which big star will be attached to voice the role. Whoever it is, they'll have big shoes to fill in the absence of Carrey's iconic version of Robotnik. On number 14. Venom III, release date, November 8, 2024, sequel to Venom, 2018, director Kelly Marcel, cast Tom Hardy, Juno Temple, Chiwetel Ejiofor, last appearing in a mid-credits scene in Spider-Man, No Way Home. Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock and Venom left a part of the symbiote in the MCU as Brock was returned to his own universe. It hasn't been confirmed whether Venom 3 will finally integrate Brock and Venom into the MCU, or what the story will be. However, Hardy will be joined by Chiwetel Ejiofor and Juno Temple in yet undisclosed roles. With Kraven the Hunter and Madam Web releasing before Venom 3, along with the multiverse-spanning events in both the MCU and Sony's Spiderverse, speculation is high regarding the possible plot of Venom 3. On number 13. The Karate Kid, release date, December 13, 2024, sequel to The Karate Kid, 2010. 2024's The Karate Kid will feature Ralph Macchio reprising his iconic role as Daniel LaRusso from the original 1984 film, and the series Cobra Kai, and Jackie Chan returning as Mr. Han from the 2010 adaptation. Not much is known about the plot, apart from how it will be about a teenager from China who studies under a tough but fair sensei. The hype surrounding the sequel is built around LaRusso and Mr. Han, as they could finally weave together the Karate Kid's two continuities. Macchio and Chan have also released a video and casting call for the actor who could potentially play the new Karate Kid. On number 12. Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, release date, March 29, 2024, the release of an ancient evil threatens to plunge the world into a second ice age in Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. Following the success of Afterlife, the sequel will see the return of Paul Rudd as Gary Gruberson, Finn Wolfhard as Trevor, Carrie Coon as Callie, and McKenna Grace as Phoebe Spengler. Also returning to the fray are old franchise mainstays Bill Murray as Peter Venkman, Dan Aykroyd as Ray Stantz, Ernie Hudson as Winston Zeddemore, Annie Potts as Janine Melnitz, and William Atherton as Walter Peck. Comedian Patton Oswalt will also join the Ghostbusters as they face the spooky midsummer death chill that wants to engulf New York City. On number 11. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, release date, May 24, 2024, sequel to War for the Planet of the Apes, 2017, set decades after the War for the Planet of the Apes and the death of Andy Serkis Caesar. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes stars Owen Teague as Noah, an ape who lives under the tyrannical rule of Proximus Caesar, played by Kevin Durand. Together with Freya Allen as the feral human May and Peter Macon as Raka, Noah will seek to escape one of the many simian societies that have twisted the original Caesar's vision for ape society. William H. Macy, Deacon Lockman, Neil Sandilands, a.k.a. Darville, Travis Jeffrey, and Sarah Wiseman will also have yet unknown roles in the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes cast. On number 10. Despicable Me 4, release date, July 3, 2024, sequel to Despicable Me 3, 2017. Despicable Me 4 will see the return of Steve Carell as Gru, Kristen Wiig as Gru's wife Lucy, Miranda Cosgrove as their daughter Margot, Steve Coogan as Silas Ramsbottom, and Pierre Coffin as the voice of the Minions. It's a continuation of the story. Gru and Lucy are married, they're a family at this point, explained Carell. It's the next step in their world with the Anti-Villain League and how their kids are included in the whole process. While it's set to release 7 years after Despicable Me 3, the fourth movie featuring Carell's Gru and his minions is likely to garner as much if not more audiences in 2024. On number 9. Beetlejuice II, release date, September 6, 2024, sequel to Beetlejuice, 1988. The exact plot of Beetlejuice II remains unknown, but it's clear that the sequel will address its over 30-year gap with the original horror comedy. Michael Keaton's return as the titular bioexorcist is the highlight, followed by Winona Ryder reprising her role as Lydia, with Catherine O'Hara as Lydia's mom Delia. Apart from Wednesday's Jenna Ortega joining the cast as Lydia's daughter Astrid, Monica Bellucci will be playing Beetlejuice's wife. Willem Dafoe also has an unnamed role, but will be playing a former B-movie actor and undead detective. In a yet undisclosed role, Justin Theroux will also join the Beetlejuice II cast. On number 8. Bad Boys 4, release date, June 14, 2024, sequel to Bad Boys for Life, 2020. Lieutenants Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett, played by Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, are back on the job in Bad Boys 4. No plot details have been confirmed, but Eric Dane will serve as the sequel's main antagonist, whose name and motivations are unknown as well. Another addition is Melanie Libbard, who will play a character named Christine. Reprising their roles in the Bad Boys 4 cast are Alexander Ludwig as Dorn, Vanessa Hudgens as Kelly, and Paula Nunez as Captain Rita Sakata. Following the mid-credits scene in Bad Boys for Life, Jacob Scipio's Armando, Mike's long-lost son, could return as well. On number 7. Smile 2, release date, October 18, 2024, sequel to Smile, 2022. Sosie Bacon's Dr. Rose Cotter didn't survive Smile, and it's currently unknown which new actors or characters will be facing the curse of the Smile entity in Smile 2. However, the sequel might see the return of surviving cast members like Kyle Gallner's Joel, Jesse T. Usher's Trevor, and Gillian Zinser's Holly, all of whom had a stake in Rose's sordid fate. While studios have successfully kept both the plot and cast list of the sequel completely under wraps, director Parker Finn has expressed a desire to avoid retreading old ground and to keep surprising audiences in the story of Smile 2. On number 6. Inside Out 2, release date, June 14, 2024, sequel to Inside Out, 2015, Amy Poehler's Joy, Phyllis Smith's Sadness, and Lewis Black's Anger are all set to return in Inside Out 2. Following the exit of Bill Hader and Mindy Kaling over contract disputes, they will be replaced with Tony Hale as Fear and Liza Lapira as Disgust, joined by Maya Hawke as Anxiety and Diane Lane as Riley's mom. After Inside Out focused on Riley's adolescent emotions, Inside Out 2 will center on the teenage Riley's even more complex feelings. In fact, although plot details are unavailable, Pixar revealed that teenage Riley will be joined by 27 different emotions in Inside Out 2. On number 5. Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire, release date, April 12, 2024, sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong, 2021. Following the epic twist ending of Godzilla vs. Kong, the titular kaijus will team up against a more savage ape titan in Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. While the Godzilla x Kong, the new Empire trailer identifies another new and young Titan as Mini Kong, its orange fur is notably closer to that of the new villainous ape Titan than Kong. Indeed, what's certain is that the sequel will reveal more of Hollow Earth's secrets through the lens of Dan Stevens Trapper, who replaces Alexander Skarsgård as the protagonist. Moreover, Rebecca Hall's Dr. Eileen Andrews and Kaylee Hoddle's Jia will reprise their roles in the Godzilla x Kong cast. On number 4. Gladiator II, release date, November 22, 2024, sequel to Gladiator 2000. Is Russell Crowe in Gladiator II? No, the Gladiator star won't be returning to the franchise. Instead, Gladiator II will focus on Lucius, the nephew of Joaquin Phoenix's Commodus and friend of Russell Crowe's Maximus, who witnessed the two fight to their deaths. Now a grown man seeking to uphold Maximus' legacy, Lucius will be 20 years older in Gladiator II, in which he'll be played by Paul Mescal. Adding to the hype is Denzel Washington joining the cast as a wealthy Roman and former slave seeking revenge. Another notable inclusion is Fred Hechinger as Emperor Geta, while Colleen Nielsen will return as Lucilla, Lucius' mother. On number 3. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, release date, February 14, 2024, sequel to Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, 2023. Christopher Robin managed to escape Winnie the Pooh in the first movie, but they will face each other again in Blood and Honey 2. The sequel will feature an all-new cast, starring Scott Chambers as Christopher Robin, Ryan Oliva as Winnie the Pooh, and veteran actor Simon Callow as Cavendish. Also joining the cast are Eddie McKenzie as Piglet, Louis Santer as Tigger, Peter D'Souza Fayani as young Christopher Robin, and Alec Newman as Alan Robin, likely a reference to Winnie the Pooh creator Alan Alexander Milne. Meanwhile, Marcus Massey and Nicola Wright, who played minor roles in the original film, will respectively play Owl and Daphne Robin in the Blood and Honey 2 cast. On number 2. Twisters, release date, July 19, 2024, sequel to Twister, 1996. Daisy Edgar-Jones and Glenn Powell are at the forefront of an all-new cast of storm chasers in Twisters, the legacy sequel to the iconic hit 90s disaster movie. No plot details have been confirmed, but it's clear that either Edgar-Jones or Powell will be playing the successors of Bill Paxton's Bill Harding and Helen Hunt's Dr. Joe Harding from Twister. Other confirmed cast members include Anthony Ramos, Brandon Perea, Kiernan Shipka, Tund Aidbimp, Katie O'Brien, and Daryl McCormack. While their characters' names are still unknown, many among this stellar cast are likely to be storm chasers as well, with Twisters possibly featuring deadlier storms and tackling climate change in the process. On number 1. Rebel Moon, Part 2, The Scargiver, release date, April 19, 2024, sequel to Rebel Moon, December 15, 2023, beginning with Rebel Moon, Part 1, A Child of Fire, and concluding with Rebel Moon, Part 2, The Scargiver. Rebel Moon is about the residents of a peaceful moon settlement rising up against the tyrannical Motherworld. Leading the rebellion against the warlord Regent Balisarius, played by Sofia Boutella's Cora stars as the strange villager who rises to become the settlement's only hope. Notable cast members include Ed Skrein as Motherworld's Admiral Atticus Noble, and Ray Fisher as Darien Bloodaxe, one of the warriors Korra will recruit to fight in the Seven Samurai and Star Wars-inspired Rebel Moon movies by Zack Snyder.